What's up, everybody? ODC here, and I'm back with another kind of discussion topic. This is a topic I wanted to just bring more awareness to, this product line, this toy line, and I thought it was worthwhile to talk about. And I already went ahead and, if you guys didn't check out my G.I. Joe Classifieds line discussion, kind of my thoughts. This will be my thoughts on the Action Force line. Now, Action Force, you're probably thinking old 80s Action Force. We're not talking Palatoy here. We're certainly not talking old Action Force / G.I. Joe. What we're talking about here is the new Action Force, the Valaverse Action Force, which is actually kind of its own, I guess, pretty much like a reboot of Action Force. So the original Palatoy era is kind of its own entity, and now it's got a new ownership by Mr. Bobby Valla. He now owns the rights to Action Force, and within owning those rights to Action Force, and this being his company, he kind of just decided to start fresh. I actually think that it's pretty smart to start fresh. I know that some characters are still copywritten, by Hasbro, because I know that they've been using Black Major and a few other characters in the G.I. Joe comics. So I'm not sure if he even wanted to use those old characters, but I digress. The point is, I wanted to talk about the action figure line that's coming out in July. It actually got pushed back into July. It was supposed to come out in, I want to say, springtime, maybe around this time, April or May, and they got pushed back into July. And it's not really anybody's fault. These things happen, especially with Kickstarters and such. But here you have Wave 1 right here, and this is everybody. Except for that, well, I guess technically you could include the exclusive. It's that BotCon exclusive right on the upper left side, right there. It's the green guy with wings right there. And that is a pretty cool design. I actually did pre-order one myself. Actually ended up pre-ordering quite a few of this line. I want to say I picked up pretty much everybody in the line, the first series, and I didn't have a chance at the time. Money's tight. It was tight at the time. Excuse me, I can't talk. But money was tight at the time as far as purchasing the figures for the Kickstarter. So I went ahead and picked up Sarge and a couple other figures when a couple of the Steel Brigaders and Condor when the Kickstarter was going on still. But then I just pre-ordered the rest through Big Bad Toy Store. It's pretty much the same price, and works the same. When they get the figures, they'll get them. But I was really stoked when I actually saw the first prototype for Condor. That's kind of why I wanted to start talking about this line, and I think I've brought it up a couple other times in my live hangouts and such, this line, but I really wanted to dive in and kind of discuss some of the releases and my thoughts on just in general on Action Force. And I think this is a really good thing. I think this is Bobby's version of what he thinks the classified line should be, and this is, I'm pretty much in agreement here. I think you want that Pursuit of Cobra feel, and a lot of these figures have that still Pursuit of Cobra feel. And because Bobby Valla worked for Hasbro while Pursuit of Cobra was going on, and he's been on the G.I. Joe team for years, even helping out with the FSS club and all that stuff. it just makes sense that what we're being given here looks like what we're given in some aspects now with Action Force. So this is Condor. This is actually, I want to say probably, I don't know, it's hard to say, but as of right now, he's pretty much my favorite. He's simple in design, but then again, you know, Duke is a very simple design too. He's your atypical looking leader. That's another reason why I love Hawk. He looks like just a leader, and he was the original leader of Joe, and Condor is another really cool character. There's actually a sub-reason as to why I liked the design of this character, and it happens to be another one of my favorite G.I. Joe characters, which is Sergeant Airborne. I don't know if this was intentional. I probably wasn't, because I don't know how many people have Sergeant Airborne as one of their favorites. And I'm not talking about all the other releases of Sergeant Airborne through Joe Con and all that other stuff. All that other funky stuff like Sky Patrol and all that stuff. I'm talking about the original Sergeant Airborne that reused, I want to say what was it? The Duke body? I can't remember. Anyway, point I'm trying to make here with Condor is that he gives off that vibe. Like the colors, the blue vest, the kind of tannish greenish suit. It's actually, I think it is more like a khaki beige or whatever, but it gives off that aesthetic. If you take even just a 25th anniversary one, where he had the blue boots and the blue vest, and even in the vintage figure was very similar in design as well. This looks like Sergeant Airborne to me. I don't know if I'm going crazy. Maybe it's just me. And when I say that, I really mean maybe it's just me. But I just see Sergeant Airborne, and even with the helmet and with all these extra heads and different configurations you can have with the helmets and such, I just see Sergeant Airborne there. And we'll come back to that. But next up, we've got Sergeant Slaughter here. And Sarge looks good. I mean, he's self-explanatory. It's Sergeant Slaughter. So he looks fantastic. He doesn't come with extra heads. That's not what you see there. It's actually just the different configurations you can have the head. So you can have him with the hat on, which is removable, the glasses on, which are removable, and then the plain head. And he comes with, I want to say, like a big ass like 44 mag, and then he's got a big ass like Bowie knife, and this is the other cool thing, all of these figures come with display stands. They all come with display stands, and they all come with file cards like they're supposed to, G.I. Joe. And everyone else that doesn't give display stands that actually fit the figure on the display stand, by the way, so you can fit 2 feet on the display stand. I see a lot of display stands. Even my special edition Spawn that I just did a live review on, his display stand doesn't fit both his feet. It's just 1 foot fits on that display stand. So it's like, come on, man. If you're paying a premium for a figure, give us that display stand that can fit 2 feet on him. If you're going to give us a stand, I'm just saying, stands aren't 100% necessary. But if you're going to give it to us, do it right. And he's doing it right. It says Action Force in there. It's embossed. And you can fit both feet on the display stand like you're supposed to. And it's nice to have display stand. I know a lot of people aren't fans of them, but it's nice to have for aesthetics. So when you're not playing around with your figures and you just want to stand them up on the shelf, or you're retiring them for the night, you have that option to display them in that manner. And I like that. I like having the option. I've always been about having options. So if I choose not to do it, it's no big deal. I could always sell the display stand or, use it for another figure. I'm actually hoping that maybe in the future, maybe Bobby Vallow will decide to sell the stand separately. I think next to Sergeant Slaughter in this line, the first big reveal for me, and I actually discussed this with Strident, and we were talking about this, and we were like, I remember telling him, I was like, hey, you know, the Valaverse, they just got the rights to the Steel Brigade. They own the rights to Steel Brigade now. And he was like, what? How do you do that? And I was like, Hasbro hasn't used it in years, since about 2016. They haven't had anything released since then, since the 50th anniversary. And when you think about it, really, they have not done anything. If anybody was smart right now, they would start going after those characters' names or copyrights, because Hasbro has not used G.I. Joe in years. But it's just me. But here is Steel Brigade right here. I mean, I think really the only thing that I would have added to this, and I know this is already a loaded figure, also comes with a display stand. If I would have taken out that display stand and put a little bit more money into this figure, or even hell, made this the one figure in the line that was the deluxe figure, was give him multiple heads, like 4 different heads. Because really, Steel Brigaders are, when they're from their inception, they were pretty much customizable characters. They were you as a G.I. Joe. That was the point. And like, maybe down the road he'll do it, but I think it would be really awesome if you just had extra heads. You know, give me a bald head. Come on, give me a bald head guy with a full beard. So I can just say, that's me as a Steel Brigader. That would be awesome. And I love this design, this nice update design. This is what I feel like, you know, the Pursuit of Cobra or 50th Anniversary Steel Brigader should have looked. They still look good, don't get me wrong. I love my 3 3/4 inch Steel Brigaders, but you know, their arms are really bad because it's, you know, they're just outdated now and their hands sucked. But man, this design looks so much better. Next, we're moving on to Karak. Karak. I think it's Karak. I don't know. I'm terrible with names. Moving on. He comes with this very Spartan-esque looking mask. I gotta be honest with you. I know a lot of people are probably really digging this design. I don't know. I'm just not feeling it. It's a little bit too typical machismo look for me. Now, I don't know that much about the character. I actually just purchased all 4 issues of the Valaverse Action Force comics, and I just haven't had a chance to read them. I literally got them today. And to show my support, I even bought a t-shirt. Why not? So, but I don't know what it is about this character, and supposedly this character is supposed to be really important to the story, and he's a conflicted character, and this, that, and the other thing, and maybe the more I'll learn about the character, maybe I'll start to care a little bit more, but I'm just not into the whole wasteland looking, I don't know. He's wearing a Spartan mask, and he's got a sleeveless jacket on. It just looks, I don't know. Maybe it's just me. It is just me, probably. But I'm just not feeling it. And he only comes with a shotgun, and I don't know. Maybe it's just the character design I'm just not digging, but it's just me. I mean, it's like the one major gripe I have with the line is just the look of this character. But we do have a bald-headed, bearded guy, so I could always repaint that beard a little bit darker brown, and there we go. There's ODC right there. A very angry, teeth-gritting ODC, but ODC nonetheless. But it's pretty cool. The other great thing about these figures is that they are still swappable. You can swap at the torso. It's a little bit harder to swap the arms, and I think Bobby Valley even said, like, try not to swap the arms unless you really, really, really know what you're doing, because that could damage the butterfly joints on them. But, you know, you have your options as far as switching things up. Next up, we have Bone Collector, and he's a pretty cool design. I mean, I kind of wish maybe they would have went with, instead of like a gray and black, like a gray, black, and red, just to switch it up, because he does. I mean, if you take that helmet off and put a balaclava head on it, he looks very Firefly-ish. I'm just being honest with you. It does look very Firefly-ish. He's kind of got that, even that the Classified's Firefly look. If you just swap that head and put a balaclava head on it. And you'll see what I mean by the balaclava heads, because there is a gray and black camoed troop builder, excuse me. But this is Bone Collector. I like the mask. I believe he said he got the idea for this mask from the main villain, or one of the main villains from Willow, where he had that kind of like, I don't even know what the hell you call it, like a weird skull mask. But I remember when I was a kid, man, that skull mask scared the shit out of me. I was like, I don't want that guy coming after me. So I think it's pretty cool that, you know, we even have a little nod from Willow, which is just a very not talked about, fun-filled adventure movie to watch. Willow! Sorry, had to do it. But this is pretty cool. You know, like I said, it's a little bit close to Firefly's design. Obviously, the head does make it look a lot different. We got another bald head guy. I mean, we're just rolling with the bald heads here. This is really going well for us, bald headers. But he comes with some pretty cool accessories. He's got what looks to be like I want to say like a AR-15 with a grenade launcher on the bottom. And Bobby Vela, I think, actually brought up that he's a big gun person. I'm a new gun person myself. I like shooting. It's a lot of fun. You ever have any stress? There's nothing like shooting a gun to get the stress off your shoulders. But he said he modeled a lot of the guns after real world guns, and actually had a designer show him the designs for the guns. So I think that's pretty cool. So that means, further down the line, more realistic guns that we'll get. He already brought up that he was intrigued with the AA-12 automatic shotgun, which is another one of my favorite weapons that has ever been invented. I just love the drum look. I love, I first saw it, what was it, in Predators, where Royce had it, and I was like, damn, what the hell is that? It's an automatic shotgun, man. And there's actually a piston in that stock that actually absorbs all of the shock. It's pretty insane the way that thing is set up. But anyway, moving on, here we have our first troop builder. I'm going ham on some guns here. But we have our first troop builder, which is the Riot Troop Builder. If you don't want to spend a ton of money on Cobra Island troopers that are way overpriced and way under demanded, high demand, under distributed is what I meant to say. You can get a bunch of these guys, and you can actually get gear for them, which you'll see in a little bit, and you can make yourself some Cobra troopers, just like Marauders. You can't afford troop builders from Hasbro. What do? You go to Marauders and get some black and blue bodies, and get some black and blue helmets and gear, and gear them up accordingly. So there's a lot of cool options here as far as troop builders. Troop builders are always fun to do, because you can even throw your own little spin on the troop builder. And like I said, he's offering 3 troop builders right off the bat, which is pretty awesome. There were some stretch goals that weren't met, and there was supposed to be more, but they weren't. Like I said, the stretch goals weren't met, so therefore they'll probably be in Series 2 and then Series 3. He's already talking about releasing Series 2 in summer of this year. So sometime this summer, we should be seeing a reveal for Series 2, and then maybe, hopefully, a release by the end of the year. So that would be pretty awesome. Next up, we've got our Urban Trooper here. same deal, different paint deco, and he's offering a white head and a black head. So you want some diversity there, you've got it. There's definitely going to be more. It's going to be, the next wave will be more diverse, with different characters, female characters, more black characters. So it'll be a lot. I think Series 2 is really going to pick up where Series 1's leaving off. So that's good. It's good to have that variety. Variety's always good, man. You got to have options. You got to have variety. You don't want to have just a whole bunch of white people running around. It's just boring. It's really boring. So it's going to get old quick. But here you have your another trooper. If you missed out on the Cobra Island trooper, or not trooper, if you missed out on the Cobra Island Firefly, here's another way to build your own. You could get this body, use the balaclava head still, get the chest rig from either the troop builder setup or bone collector, and throw a little backpack on the back from this line, and get him a submachine gun, get him an explosive in his other hand, and call it a day. You got yourself a nice little Firefly right there, if that's what you want to do. And you don't want to spend big bucks, and you don't want to have to kill yourself as far as trying to find the damn figure. This way, if you just pre-order them, they're there, they're available. And these figures do run a little bit more. They run around the $30 price point, but for a specialty item, just like Mythic Legions, they run around $35. They actually run more than these figures are going for. So, I mean, if people can justify spending $35 for Mythic Legion, I'm sure you could justify spending $30 for one of these figures, which I think are 10 times better as far as what I've seen than the Classifieds line right off the bat. I mean, even articulation, range of motion, it's way better. Bobby Val has actually done videos showing the range of motion being better, articulation being better. Even most of the paint apps are better. They don't use that cheap gloss shit that Hasbro does constantly with their paint finishes. So, but going over here, you've got your Special Ops Trooper, which is just your all black decoed trooper. And like I said, you've got your variety with your heads there. You got 2 different heads it comes with. These figures by themselves run around $21, I think. I think it's around like $21. But they only include what's shown here. They don't include any guns or vests or anything. They have gun and vest packs that you can buy separately. I think they're like $12.99. Don't quote me on that. I think they might be $12.99. I think around that. I know for a fact that the Alpha and Bravo weapons packs are $12.99. But anyway, I digress. Off the top of my head, I don't know for sure. So be sure to check out Big Bad Toy Store for the pre-orders. But it's nice to have this variety. Like I said, you've got lots of options to work with here with the troop builders, and it's good to being able to have a bunch of hands. I mean, look at all those hands that work with. Another really cool thing to note is that not only do you get a bunch of hands, but those hands are also swappable with your Classifieds figures. So if you don't like the Classifieds hands and you want to switch them, you can switch them with your Action Force figures, which is pretty awesome. So that's pretty cool that you have that availability and that option with other figure lines, which has been kind of the bane of Hasbro's existence. They've always been kind of like, no, we're going to do our own thing. And it's hard, and other companies want to do their own thing. And, like, for example, the Marauders hands don't fit in with the Hasbro peg holes. The Marauders pegs are too big on the sprue. So you actually have to trim it down and then try and fit it in. And it gets tough because then the handle get a little bit bulged on the forearm, and it does cause issues. But these you can pop right in and they fit. So that's nice that he went out of his way to actually fit with another line that he for a company that he used to work for. I mean, that's pretty cool. So here's the first weapons, or I guess I should say assault pack. That's what I'll call it. So you pretty much have the same vest as Condor right here. You have a backpack, you have an AK-47, you have a sidearm, and you have holsters, and you have helmet with attachments to the helmet, I believe. And so you can troop build. I mean, you can mix and match. You can customize a little bit. And you could, hell, you could even paint these because they were just all black. So this is going to be very customizer friendly. I mean, you guys already know I'm doing Marauders. I've been doing Marauders videos for quite a while with customizing. And I could see myself doing some customizing here. So this is a good thing that we're getting stuff like this. I think he's been asked. I think Vala's been asked if he's going to continue doing if he do a hands pack or a heads pack. And I think he said, yeah, I don't really want to get into the whole customizing thing like Marauders. I want this to be an actual toy line. So what we're getting here, I think, is going to be few and far between. So I would grab these while you guys have the chance, if you do have a chance. Here we have the other kind of assault pack. This is the same vest that comes with Bone Collector. It's the same assault rifle that comes with Bone Collector. And I'm not sure if that's the same sidearm, but it does come with sidearm regardless. And it comes with holsters for your ammo for both magazines and the sidearm. So you do have a drop-down leg holster, which is pretty awesome. I would love to see a vest, a cross draw on a vest. That would be really cool if we could get one of those in the future. Even if they're removable and kind of like what Marauders does with the pegs, so you can just customize just a little bit. I mean, you're not asking for a lot of customization here, just a little bit more. But I like the way this looks. The deco is different from Bone Collectors, so it will give it you can give your own spin on it. I just get afraid that some of this stuff's going to start looking too much the same, so I want my main characters to look like themselves and not like a troop builder, you know what I mean? So I might not use the vests on these. I might try and find other vests that I can use, or just try and figure out some way else I can customize these vests to make them look like their own and not look like Bone Collectors. Same thing with the Condor vest. Now, granted, I also understand that people wear the same vest sometimes. It does happen, but with this, just a little differentiation between the two, I don't think it hurts. But it's really cool that we're getting these gear packs. I think that's really nice, and it's it's quite a bit of pieces. I actually think you do get 3 different helmets, which is pretty damn awesome. Because it says an 18-piece set right there, and with the holsters and the helmets, pretty awesome. So here we have our Swarm gear pack. I think this was added lastly. You will start to notice and see that there are a lot of reoccurring weapons within the different packs. Like you've got that nice grenade launcher, which actually the barrel does spin on, by the way. It is a rotating, spinning barrel on that. And I think Sergeant Slaughter's gun's barrels does spin as well. Don't quote me on that, but I think it does. I think I remember hearing that. Or reading that somewhere. But you've got your MP5 or MP7, excuse me. right there, which is another one of my favorite firearms that I've actually had the pleasure of shooting. So that's pretty awesome. But I like the shield. I like the kind of futuristic tech look to the swarm. I actually really dig this a lot. This is what I've been saying and for years about, G.I. Joe and Cobra. Cobra needs to be a little bit more futuristic and kind of has been. That's why I thought Cobra La always worked, and nobody fucking agrees with that. But I think it works because Cobra is that little bit more funky than G.I. Joe. G.I. Joe's normie. Cobra's a little more advanced. And that's the whole uphill battle thing that I keep beating over people's heads. That it makes sense because they're outnumbered and outgunned. G.I. Joe is. But, you've got the swarm here. Like I said, I think I've only actually read issue 1 of Action Force, and that was so long ago I just read the digital copy. So, I can't wait to learn more about these characters and everything. Next up, you've got your weapons pack. This is the Alpha pack. There's an Alpha and a Bravo pack. I'm sure you'll see the Bravo pack in about a minute or so. But these are, a lot of them are similar guns in the packs. They're just kind of paint decoed different. I ordered a bunch of these because with what we're getting with the classifieds line, my Duke needs an upgrade. We got a bunch of Nerf guns with poor Duke. I mean, he got a Nerf gun, but I'm just not feeling that. I'm not feeling that shit. So he's gonna have to get some real world guns, and then I think he'll look more the part. Duke needs his AR with a grenade launcher on the bottom, and he needs his I don't even know what I'm going to give him yet. Maybe a deagle or some shit. No, I probably won't give him a deagle. He wouldn't roll like that. I'd probably give him I don't know. I'd love to give him a new SIG. Hopefully we get some newer handguns molds up in the future. But I feel like Duke would have a SIG. He'd have a P320 or something. Which is actually my gun. Because they're sleek too, SIGs. They look great with the strikers. I like strikers. But anyway, sorry, I'm going off on a tangent here. We've got our Chris Vector right there. Got our grenade launcher that we've seen. We've got a few different ones there that are being shown, and like I said, you're probably going to see these like you saw the one. Was it like a Scar that came with Condor? That's just redecoed. It's just to give a little bit of differentiation between the packs and the regular releases with the figures. Over here we have our backpack gear sets, which is pretty cool. I mean, these just plug right into the back. You even have a little, I guess, a man purse, or I'm just kidding, a sash bag, sling bag, whatever you want to call it. But you do have different types of backpacks, and then you have the sling packs also. So I think that's pretty nice to have. Like I said, more options. If you want to build that Firefly, you're going to want that sash pack. You're going to want a backpack for him also. He's got to carry around a lot of gear. He's a saboteur. I don't know why I say saboteur. Like I'm crying or something. I'm saboteuring. He's a saboteur. So he's going to want to have to carry a lot of explosives, I'm sorry. I am exhausted. I had a long week, and I'm half dead. I just finished watching the NFL draft, and it just ended at almost 1 o'clock in the morning. So I'm half dead shot when I'm doing this video, which I shouldn't have done. Anyway, talking out of my ass again. But I think this is a really nice, cool pack. And like I said, you can always customize these. and paint these however you want. If you want to add a little bit of paint detail to them, you can, because these are all just cast in these plastics. You've got your green, you've got your kind of khaki, and then you have your black, which is perfect. That's all you really need as far as military toys go. You need to have your neutral colors for your militaries, and then you can customize on top of that. You want to add little buckles or details, you can do that. A simple little paintbrush. Boop, done. Grab some acrylics and go nuts. But yeah, these look good. Very similar also. This line in so many ways does give off Marauder vibes, but they actually have characters. That's like the one thing that I've been saying about Marauders for a while. And while the customization is cool, you kind of end up hitting a wall with customization with them because we don't have those characters. But these have characters, and like I said, I'm not dissing. By any means, I'm not dissing Marauders. So this, moving on though, this is actually pretty funny. This declassified gear pack here. So we all know the issues with the Gung Ho figure, and while I still like the design, he is wearing the wrong hat. He's wearing a army hat, and he is a Marine. That is a big no-no. As far as I'm concerned, my great-grandfather is concerned, my grandfather is concerned, and my father is concerned. That is a big no-no. You kind of don't do that shit, Hasbro. I don't know what the hell they were thinking with that. And while I like the rest of his design, that hat is wrong and it's missing, and someone should have caught that. And saying on your website that, oh, he's no longer a Marine. No. Cut that shit the fuck out right now. Cut it out. Don't ever do that again. Stop saying that someone's not a Marine anymore, because once a Marine, always a Marine. We all know that. But anyway, you have your kind of light teal colors here, or aqua colors. I'm going to be honest with you, I'm not feeling that. I like his design from the Classifieds line. I like the color scheme. I just need that hat. And maybe that grenade launcher. I need the grenade launcher, and I need that hat. And I'll even take the guns too. The handguns. I think it's like a 1911, I think, as far as I can see. My picture's blocked right now, but it's cool that we get muzzle flashes too. That's pretty nice. Most lines don't add that in, unless you're like Marvel Legends. The next shot here is pretty much just the packaging. I love nice packaging. For some reason, I don't know what it is. When I get regular retail, like if I get it from like Mattel or Hasbro or NECA or whatever, another company that's been around for a long time, I can't keep the packaging around. I throw that shit right the fuck out. I don't care. Get it out of my face unless it's got like a file card attached to it or some sort of story or a comic book. Then I might keep the packaging around because it feels a little bit more important when it comes with those things. But if it's just regular packaging with just artwork on it that I've seen a billion times, I just throw that crap out. This makes me want to keep it. And same thing with Mythic Legions. Like, even though their stuff, like their packaging, is very similar, and it does get a little monotonous and a little bit boring over time with the same artwork. But each wave has its own artwork. That's the other cool thing. And the fact that they're resealable and that they're a smaller production run and a specialty item makes me care a little bit more about the packaging. Makes me want to maybe keep it just because it is resealable if I have to travel or if I have to move or whatever I have to do in the future. I always have that packaging for these figures that, are probably a little bit more rare than your regular retailed $20 figure. But I think the packaging looks pretty good here. I like the artwork on the side of the box. like I said, these figures come with file cards and display stands and everything that the G.I. Joe classified line should have come with. The fact that the classified line does not include, they don't include a Build-A-Figure, they don't include extra hands, they don't include extra, like a tactical vest, they don't include a helmet for Duke, like none of that stuff. It's just like backpack, assault rifle, and you're on your way. Goodbye. And here's your binoculars, which I'm actually surprised that they remembered to do his binoculars, but not his damn helmet, which just has me scratching my head. Anyway, moving on, here's the back of the package. Shows the other characters in the wave, and it also shows the file card. And the file card looks really good. I mean, it's just this simple to do this shit. This is not hard. This is not rocket science to do things like this. To add a little bit of a file card in the back. And that's the thing. They've done it before. And people enjoy it. It doesn't matter if it's been the umpteenth time of the figure's release. Put that damn file card there. Just put it there. If you're spending, $5 to $10 on packaging, well, you wouldn't even spend $10. If you're spending $2 to $5 on packaging as far as your budget for the figure, that's more than enough to put a damn file card on the back. I mean, fuck. This can't be that hard. And this is where Bobby Valla makes Hasbro look stupid. And a lot of Marauders made Hasbro look stupid on the 3 3/4 inch line. And now Bobby Valla's making them look stupid on their 6-inch line. He's just, this is not hard stuff to do. This is where, bigger companies, when a company grows and it grows to be so big that it forgets where it came from or what its roots are or what sells or how to reach their customers or what's even popular. How about that? Instead of just guessing, just do what works. I enjoy collecting the file cards, regardless of whether I've had them a bunch of times before or not. I still enjoy them because at least there's a differentiation between the file cards and the figure itself. The artwork is different. There's little things that are different that make it worthwhile to collect these things that you probably normally wouldn't. Like a little piece of cardboard that comes with a toy. And some people like to display the file card with the toy. I'm sure a lot of people like to do that. So just fucking do it, Hasbro. Like I said, we're not talking quantum physics here. This is just a file card and a display stand. Anyway, this is Action Force. I'm pretty sure that this is going to be some of the characters that will be featured in Series 2. A lot of these were stretch goals that weren't met during the Kickstarter event. It wasn't actually on Kickstarter. It was on another website that's similar to Kickstarter. But I'm just using the general term of Kickstarter. It's kind of like, what was it? Asking someone, will you pass me the Kleenex? Kleenex is the name of the company, not the actual. You would ask for a tissue instead. But people still ask for a Kleenex. Anyway, point I'm trying to make is, with this long-winded rant about Kleenex, which has nothing to do with what I'm talking about. I'm becoming delirious. I'm so tired. This is what I'm assuming will be Series 2. Like I said, probably take what I'm saying with a grain of salt. Bobby Valla might switch things up. Who knows? But here we have Downrange. And the first thing I kind of wanted to bring up, and I brought this up in the G.I. Joe Classifieds, my take on G.I. Joe Classifieds line, are the ankles. And I was like, I know where you got those ankles from, Bobby Valla. And if you remember the Joe Trooper or the G.I. Joe Retaliation mouse figure. And they used it in a bunch of other figures too. I think in the FSS Club, and I think with, who was it, Law and Order. They had those ankles that had ankle pivots instead of the ankle swivels, and they had the pants that were kind of going over the boot, and kind of puffy pants a little bit. It's very similar to the design right here on Downrange. And that's what I was talking about. Oh, I know where you got that design from. And he probably designed it. That's the thing. He probably designed the damn Joe Trooper and all that. So he is a designer. So it doesn't surprise me once. I just thought it was kind of a quirky little thing to notice. But I'm pretty sure this is using the same vest as Condor. A little differentiation there. It does have the Action Force logo. I'm hoping that we get an Action Force logo on one side, and then the character's country of origin on the other. I think that would be pretty cool to have a different country of origin, kind of making them like almost like an international team. But that's just my take on it. Action Force was predominantly English, and that's why Condor has an English Union Jack. I believe it's not technically called a Union Jack, but the British flag on there, because he is a SAS, or former SAS. And here's another shot at downrange, as far as you can tell those ankles, what I'm talking about as far as those go. But he comes with also the same assault rifle as Condor, multiple hands, a sidearm, a knife. Excuse me. I'm not sure if the Hush Puppy is removable or not, if the suppressor is removable or not. But still, I'm pretty excited for this character. I've already got ideas as to how I would like to customize him, just to change him up a little bit. But I like the fact that he does kind of have his own kind of sculpt with his legs. So he does look a little bit different. And he is wearing a t-shirt, which I think is unique for him. I don't think anybody else is wearing a t-shirt. So that's good. I mean, that's pretty cool. I'm really stoked that Bobby Valla brought up in an interview that I heard that he was very interested in doing Halo jumpers. And I'm like, yes. Oh my God, that's awesome, because we're finally going to get something like Pursuit of Cobra, or even just the Retaliation or 25th anniversary version of the Cobra Air Trooper, or the Air Vipers, or whatever the hell they were called. I can't remember off the top of my head. I'm just brain farting right now. But I'm hoping for that. And then he also brought up Frogmen. And I'm like, yes, please, please, please do. I've been asking for, and you guys know this because I've brought this up in videos before. I've been yearning for both Halo jumpers, paratroopers, and frogmen for SAS characters. Maybe give me a frogman suit, SAS operative. That would be amazing. Or Condor in a SAS suit, or a SAS frogman suit. That would be fantastic. All black with just the face cut out. Oh, that'd be great. Next up, I don't remember offhand this character's name, and I can't see it because it's blocked right now, but oh no, I don't think the name's on there, but she's pretty cool. I'm pretty sure she's a villain. This is very similar to Karnak. He's kind of that almost like post-apocalyptic looking, I guess if you want to call it Mad Max-esque look, Dreadnought look. And I'm just, while the Dreadnoughts are they're cool. They're unique. I never really got into the dreadnoks all that much. I was more focused on the military-esque look as opposed to, you know, but I appreciate the uniqueness of that look. So I can appreciate that here too. And it's nice to, like I said, have that differentiation between different characters. So she's got her own look. Karnak has his own look. And she looks like she comes with a plethora of different accessories there with 2 Glocks, which we don't get a whole lot of Glock sculpts or molds. I know... Whew, pardon me. I know that... Marvel Legends has done some Glock molds with like Hitmonkey and a couple other characters, but... what was it, like Agent Venom, but for the most part we don't really get them that much. Next up, this is the next female character. I'm not sure her name, I don't remember it offhand. Maybe it'll pop up in another, if I have another picture of her, but she looks like she comes with a full like Sigma head, which is pretty damn awesome. I mean, her tack vest looks great. I love that design. It looks fantastic. I like the rifle, which is also included in that weapons pack that I showed earlier. So it's the same rifle. She comes with a plethora of different accessories, also holsters and a sidearm and a knife. And I gotta wake up because I'm yawning too much because I'm sitting. Anyway, but I think she looks pretty cool. I think this is the character that's actually supposed to be a female Steel Brigader. I might be wrong there. Don't quote me on that. Like I said, this is just pure speculation on my part, just because, you know, I see the khaki, I see the blue, I see the lighter blue, and then I guess I don't see a Steel Brigader helmet. Maybe that'll be revealed later, but I remember Bobby Vela saying something about a female Steel Brigader, so this was just my guess on that. Like I said, she looks good though. I like the head sculpt. The head sculpt looks really cool. She looks like a badass. I really like that masked head. That looks fantastic, and it really does give her own vibe. That with the tack vest and just everything looks really good. It doesn't all have to match. Eclipse, that's her name, Eclipse. And here we have Eclipse version 2, which was a locked item. I'm not sure if this is going to be released or what the deal is, but she was supposed to come with a scarf and then the masthead, and as you can see right here, I mean, I'm pretty much just explaining what you're looking at this point. It comes with the same kind of whatever the name of that shirt is, the shirt top that the other girl was wearing with the half-shaved head that we saw. So that looks really good. I like that. Like I said, differentiation, the customization. Like I said, the torsos are removable, so you can actually take that torso off of the lower torso, where the waist meets the upper torso. You can actually just connect those, and you can connect them with different legs. I'm pretty sure that the females probably won't adapt to the male legs. Not saying that anyone would really want to do that, but I've actually done it myself. With Marauders figures, I've actually put male lower torsos on female upper torso and gave them that kind of like a little bit of a wider hip, so they're a little bit more curvy look. And because the male legs stick out a little bit more, it gives them that kind of different body type, even though it's still using a male lower body. It gives them a little bit of curvature, a little bit of thickness to them that, you know, we usually get like skinny minis but they're still thick women, and thick women, you know, I'm not saying like fat or fat shaming or anything like that, but what I'm saying is in the military there's usually people are in really good shape, but there's still like different body types. You can still be in shape and have a wider, thicker body, you know. So that's, I think, the aesthetic I was going for, and I think it would be pretty cool. I mean, it actually seems like she's a little bit on the thicker side, so that's pretty cool. I like that. Lastly, we have Trigger here. Now, Trigger is actually, I think he's using the Karnak upper body, and he's using the downrange lower body. And he looks very similar to somebody else that you might know, named Rock and Roll. I don't know if this was intentional. Maybe it was, maybe it wasn't. It probably was a little nod at Rock and Roll. But, you know, like I said, if the Hasbro ever releases Rock and Roll, like I said, I'm pretty set on the fact that they're never going to release a Sergeant Airborne. I'm still rooting for Shadow Tracker to be released. That'll probably never get made. But the Sergeant Airborne probably won't get made, so I could always use Condor as my Sergeant Airborne, and have him be a Native American that lives in the UK now. That's why he's got the British flag on his chest. Anyway, give him another backstory, like he's the first ever SAS operative that's also Native American. Why not? Switch it up. Use your imagination. That's what it's there for. So here you could also use him as probably Rock and Roll. If you wanted to use like an updated Rock and Roll, here you go, man. Give him a friggin' saw and call it a day. And the saw is my favorite LMG. I'm so glad that he chose the saw to go with, and a proper saw, by the way. There's the plethora of different versions of a saw. There's the para saw. There's a plethora of different types of saws. I'm still looking for one with a adjustable stock, not an actual toy adjustable stock, but you know what I mean. The AR type of stock, which those are a little bit harder to find. But anyway, eventually I'd like to be able to own and shoot a saw. I would love to do that, but I'm going to guess those are a little bit expensive. But anyway, Trigger here, actually, there's a funny story behind Trigger also. He had his own little kind of mini comic with his own little story, and I was actually hoping that he would have been included in Wave 1. That wasn't going to happen, I guess. I guess it didn't happen. But I believe it was it San Diego Comic-Con 2019 that they included a comic, which I'd love to get my hands on that, or even just be able to read it. I would love to. So if anybody does have one, I will, or if you want to send me like a digital copy of it, or if you have a digital copy of it, or just if you want to just send me photos of it so I can read it, so I can say I read it. I'd like to read that, just because, you know, it's interesting to learn about characters, and I love learning about new characters, and it's fantastic. But anyway, that's where kind of Trigger was brought in. And like I said, I don't know anything about his character because I haven't been able to read that bit of information, but I'm hoping that he comes out in Wave 2. That's kind of why I included him here. I'm hoping he does. Maybe he will, maybe he won't. Who knows? I don't. But you know, overall, I just kind of wanted to make this video. I know it's maybe a little bit of a long-winded video here, but I've been trying to do this to, you know, push awareness for something that I'm actually interested in. You know, like I said, just the classified line, like once you compare it to this line and you compare it to the just the aesthetics, if you compare it to the articulation, the range of motion, the overall functionality of the figure, the quality of the figure, the paint apps, like all of this stuff has been compared. And if you guys don't know, you can check out the Valaverse YouTube page, and he does comparisons with G.I. Joes. Like, he's done them. Like, even with the prototype, he's done a comparison with like a Snake Eyes figure, and he does the full review of the Snake Eyes classifieds exclusive figure. So like I said, he has shown, I mean, he's shown full articulation, range of motion, all that, and he's compared them with classifieds. These figures run a hair taller, and I mean like a hair taller than your classifieds, depending on the body. So like a roadblock body would probably be a little bit, maybe around the same height or just a little bit taller than the Valaverse figures. But these Valaverse figures they're not like a true 6-inch. Like true 6-inch would probably be like articulated icons, which run a little bit smaller. That would be like a true 6-inch line. But even Marvel Legends don't run as a true 6-inch line. They're a little bit taller than 6 inches. So when I say they're a little bit taller than 6 inches, don't freak out. They're still within scale. You can, like I said, you can go on the Valaverse YouTube page and check for yourself if you don't believe me. He does a full scale of, Marvel Legends and G.I. Joe classifieds, and they're pretty much all on the same scale. It's a little bit taller. It's not a big deal. Some people are taller in the world. They don't all have to be the same height. So I don't have an issue with it. I think these look great. I can't wait to get a pre-order in on Series 2, and I can't wait to get my Series 1 in the mail. I'm going to have a lot of fun. Once I get them in the mail, I'm definitely going to be doing a live video review on all of them. And it's just, this is the time of year where it's fun to be a collector. When something that you're actually enjoying and passionate about, talking about, gets you going, keeps you going. And you can hang out, you can shoot the shit with like-minded people and just kind of have fun with stuff like this. And I'm pretty pleased that, not only you pretty much got the trifecta with me. You got the figures coming out, you got them coming out with, the aesthetics of what we kind of grew up with G.I. Joe loving, like the nice card artwork, the bios, or the file cards, the multiple accessories that it comes with, different heads, the paint apps are better weaponry, all that stuff, all that fun stuff is there. And then on top of that, there's a story behind it too, which you can actually watch. And I think, what was it? He even announced that they're working on a movie, like a live action movie. It's insane. What's going on with this toy line that has not even dropped anything yet is already working on a movie. Like he's already talked to a producer, and they're working on casting people. Like, that's insane. They're working on, like, storyboards and writing and all that stuff. Just, he's even talked about like casting, who he would cast if he could cast people. And I think that's just insane. Like, the figures haven't even like come out officially, and like all this stuff has happened so quickly for a toy line that's just doing the simple things that we like. I think that's remarkable. That doesn't happen all the time. It just doesn't, G.I. Joe's been around forever, got 2 movies and took a dump, technically 3 with the animated one, but you couldn't get it right, but I think Action Force is it's got a good start. It's got momentum. I think it's doing the right things. And I'm really curious to know what you guys think. I've been going on babbling long enough here. But I really would like to know what you guys think about this, because I think this is an intriguing line. While it's not really reinventing the wheel all that much, I think it's doing enough different and enough of things that I like to really grab me. And I said, hey, I'm not going to get into the G.I. Joe Classifieds line because it just doesn't appeal to me. But this does appeal to me. I don't know. It's not the fact that things are dumbed down, because, when you look at the Swarm, that's not dumbed down. That's stuff that's... I dig that. Because we're getting a lot of variety just in Wave 1. If you look just at Wave 1, you're getting a lot of variety there. You're getting a lot of different pieces. Karnak, or I'm sorry if I'm saying his name wrong, I apologize, but he's kind of his own thing. He's kind of his own entity. And then even when you look at the story, it's different from what you think it's going to be. It's not the same thing, same old. Good guy versus bad guy, and bad guy shoot good guy, and good guy kill bad guy. It's not that. It's not just that. That's it. There's more to it than that. The story even gives me feelings of, not feelings, but reminds me of a little bit of The Division. This is kind of after the world's kind of gone to shit, and there's been factions that spread out, and Action Force is called to act on this and try and help fix the world. That's cool. That's uphill type shit that you need your heroes to work towards. And you need your heroes to work towards something big. And that's cool. I can dig that, while still working within some realistic designs and having your villains look crazy, awesome, and aggressive and intimidating. That's the stuff I like. It's fun. And hell, this is stuff that I've been wanting to do. I've been wanting to do my own toy line for years and years and years and years and years. And it just hasn't been the right timing, but I don't think I would do anything specifically like this. But I would definitely consider doing 6 inches. I definitely would consider doing that. I don't know. We'll have to see, though. Who knows? That's further down the road for myself. But this is just a line I wanted to talk about and get more awareness out there. Hopefully, I helped somebody know about this line, and I hope you guys enjoyed this. And let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Really, I know I say that, but it's not just like a direction to the exit for the video. Like, it's literally like, I want to know what you guys think about this toy line, and from what you've seen, or what you already know. If you already know about the toy line, what do you think? Like, I really want to know what you guys think, and I try to usually respond to everybody that does give me some sort of insight. So, and I do appreciate that. I really do. So, really, let me know what you guys think. And, yeah, that's pretty much it for me. And, thumbs up for Action Force so far. I don't have the damn toys in my hand. I'm giving them a thumbs up. But I like to see things like this and Mythic Legions thrive and do well, because I want to see the smaller guys get their rub. They deserve it. I feel if you got passion, and you can see the passion with Mythic Legions, they love doing this shit, and with Action Force, he loves doing it. This is what he's always wanted to do. He was working on a 6-inch line for G.I. Joe with Hasbro, and they let him go, and it was a big mistake, and now they're eating their words. And it's good to see that. that's good. The little guy's winning, you know. You don't see that too much in this world. Usually the big corporation wins every time. So it's good to see these things happening and see something that really hasn't even been released yet gain so much traction. And I hope it gains more traction. I hope it does well, you know. I really do hope it does well, because we need variety. We need more variety. G.I. Joe's got too much of a death grip on what it's got a death grip on. And, you know, the reason why, like, other lines like BBI and all those other, like, kind of generic military brands, they just don't have those characters to keep it going, you know? Like the Corps, I'll say this, Leonard and the Corps, kudos to them for being around as long as they've been around. And kudos to them for adapting and giving us characters like Smoke and a bunch of others. I think that's really cool that they're kind of building their own universe and such. It's nice to have that variety and have those different avenues to go. It's just fun, you know. It makes collecting fun, and that's the point. It's not just to get everything of the one thing, you know. I don't need all of the things. I just want the things that I enjoy, and this is one of them. Just like I love Joy Toy, and I love Marauders, and I love the Black Series, and I love my wrestling figures, my WWE Elites, and I love Mythic Legions, and I love Transformers, and, you know, I collect them because I enjoy them, and that's what this is all about. So, but anyway, I digress. I can go on all day about collecting and such, but I didn't mean to get off subject. But anyway, let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Thank you for listening, and I'll see you guys on the flip side.